Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with the review of the Ghostbuster helicopters from World Tech Toys. We've got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the three guys. We've got Ray, Egon, and Peter. I've got Peter out of the box here. And then of course we also have Slimer, and I've got him out of the box here as well. So Stay Puft and Slimer are both a little bit bigger. They've got bigger rotors. They weigh more. And then the three guys are, have a little smaller rotors. So a little bit two different kind of classes of helicopters here. However, they all are coaxial and two channel. So you've just got throttle for up and down and left and right turning, and they just kind of slowly move forward on their own. They are all infrared controlled, so indoors only. You don't want to use these out in the sunlight. And so, like I said, just two channels. So you've got throttle on the left and then left and right rotation on the right. There is no forward and backward. It just moves forward on its own. We've got fire buttons here, which don't really do anything. I think it makes a sound when you press it, but there's no like game where they shoot lasers at each other or anything. So I'm not exactly sure what those buttons are even for. We have a trim knob here in the center, which is a little bit awkward to reach while you're flying and trying to make adjustments to that and constantly taking your hands off the controls. So I would have preferred to see like a dial up here on one of the corners. And then we also do have A, B, and C channels. We got three different channels, so you pick the channel you want, and then when you start up the helicopter, it'll sync to that channel. So you could fly three at the same time by setting them all to different channels. Go ahead and put that back up. We also do have two main rotor blades, so you would only be able to replace, one top or bottom. You wouldn't be able to replace all four. And then we also have a USB charging cable. Oh, and there is a charging cable in the controller as well. So you can charge off the controller on the go, though you're going to use up your batteries that way. Or if you're at home and you've got a USB power source, you can charge off the USB and save your batteries. So that's pretty nice. It takes about 18-20 minutes to charge them, somewhere around in there. Slimer and Stay Puft, the bigger, heavier models, get about 5 minutes of fly time. And then the three guys, the lighter models, get about 7 minutes of flight time. We'll go ahead and look a little closer at them now. They are pretty neat models. Like they're pretty detailed and have nice molding to them and texture. They got the whole backpack and the gun and everything. So kind of cool. And you can rotate or adjust the legs here, which I think if you move them forward like that, it kind of slows it down a little bit. It doesn't want to move forward as fast. However, I found them both very hard to fly. Like neither of them are very controllable. The big ones here, my Stay Puft actually doesn't even work. I think I got maybe like half a flight out of it, and one of the gears or something in it broke. So that doesn't even work. Slimer here kind of comes and goes. Sometimes one of the rotors will stop, so it's like a gear is kind of catching and missing. So I don't think these are very high build quality. And then Slimer's arms adjust as well, so you can kind of move those around to try to slow him down. But again, just very hard to control. They tend to move forward a little bit too fast, so it's hard to to get them going where you want. And since it's just two channel control, all you can do is rotate them, so you're basically trying to keep them from crashing, and you don't really feel a sense of that you're actually flying it around. So these two channel helicopters are a little bit weird, and I think in this case, it's just a novelty. It's for the fan of Ghostbusters to have the novelty of the characters, little action figures. They actually fly around. It's not meant for helicopter enthusiasts or flying for the fun of it. It's purely novelty for the Ghostbusters fan. Also would not exactly suggest them to beginners just because they are so incredibly hard to fly. I mean, you're constantly adjusting the trim so it's not spinning around. You want it to stay real nice and straight in order for your turns to work well at all. But then, as you give and release throttle, that constantly changes. So really, I mean, I'm just crashing these all over the place. They're very hard to get to fly. you know, without running into something for any amount of time, unless you're, you know, in like a big gym or something like that and you've got a lot of room. So I'll go ahead and use Slimer for my flight review just because he's, you know, he looks cool, he's green and he's big, he shows up well on camera. So we'll go ahead and take that for a spin around the kitchen and see if I can manage to get a decent flight out of that at all. Well, let's see. I think that's all there is to say otherwise. Yep, looks like it. Alright, let's go take it for a flight. Alright, this is the flight review of the Ghostbusters helicopters from World Tech Toys. I'll be using Slimer here for the flight review, and he does have poseable arms, which is kind of cool, but not too much else to him. No LEDs or anything, and it is just a 2-channel helicopter, so you're basically just turning left and right while it slowly moves forward on its own, so don't expect, you know, super precise control. And you want to be very active with the trim knob here. You got to make sure that it's not spinning to be able to get any sort of, you know, good controllable flight out of it. So you got to be very accurate with the trim. And then it also has 2 fire buttons here. Oops, I lost the sync. Now it should work. So you, I don't really know what point those serve. There's no like functionality for that. It just makes a sound, so kind of weird. But anyway, we'll go ahead and give her a spin. Oh yeah, this one, yeah, there we go. Sometimes the top rotor stops working on this one every once in a while for some reason. There we go. Oh. Yeah, so with just 2-channel, it's pretty uncontrollable, and as you saw there, it started out spinning like crazy. So you gotta, first things first, you gotta get your trim set so that it stops spinning, so that you can actually control it a little bit. But it just moves forward on its own, so you don't have really good control of where it's going. You're just kind of guiding it. Still trying to get my, yeah, this one's really hard to fly. It just kind of moves quite a bit on its own. What happened? It turned itself off. There we go. It looks pretty funny though, especially with that tongue. Come on, come on. There we go, got it going a little bit. But yeah, a beginner pilot is going to be really frustrated with a helicopter like this. They're just not easy to control. I mean, I've been flying for 10 years and I'm having a hard time with the thing. So don't expect to be really flying them super precisely. This is more just about the novelty of it and just kind of a gimmick. It's not really... Oh, it's got some weird shaking going on right now. Did I break a blade or something? I don't know why it got all shaky. Let's try a little bit more. Man, it is super wobbly now. Man, this thing is hard to fly. It would be a lot easier in a bigger room, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm having such a hard time trying to get it trimmed while it, you know, is crashing. I just don't have enough room to work with to get it trimmed out and flying decently. There, I kind of got it going. Man, that bottom blade is... something's all out of whack with the bottom blade. Moving weird and vibrating. Looks like it's got a big curve in it. So yeah, don't expect too much out of these. If you get them as a gift or give them as a gift, you know, expect the person to not really have much luck actually flying them. They've got to be for fans. You know, if you get this for a kid as their first helicopter or something, they will be disappointed. This is definitely just for the novelty of having the character be able to fly, sort of. Man. I'd like to get it going just good enough to at least take it in for a landing on my own, but I can't get it flying well enough to even do that. Come back. Yeah, I'm not having much luck actually flying this thing, so I think that was all there is to show with it, really. It's just, you know, that's what two-channel helicopters are. You're just kind of keeping them from crashing, or in my case, not even doing that. But, you know, definitely if it's, you know, for a fan and they just like the character and it's mostly going to spend its life on a shelf, you know, I think they'd be happy with it. But if you're getting it for an actual, you know, somebody that's wanting a helicopter, these are not the thing for that person. But if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, you'll probably like them. So anyway, check the video description for a price and purchase link. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.